Did you know you can become a saint while washing dishes, going to work, taking care of your children? A Spanish priest discovered something that forever changed the church. And the secret involves something you may already know. Holiness is not for the privileged few. This is the story of Saint Josemaria Escrivá, the funniest, most human, most relatable saint you will ever meet. In 1902, in a small town in Spain called Barbastro, a boy named Josemaria was born. From the very beginning, life taught him hard lessons. He lost 3 little sisters when he was still very young, and at just 2 years old, he became so sick that doctors thought he wouldn't survive the night. His mother, full of faith, asked the Virgin Mary to save her son, and the next morning, the doctor came expecting to find a dead child. He found Josemaria completely healed, playing. But here's something nobody expected from a future saint. Josemaria absolutely loved chocolate. His friends and colleagues remembered it fondly. The man who would one day inspire millions that had a serious weakness for sweets. Sounds like someone we can all relate to. But there was something else about young Josemaria. Every Sunday, his mother took him to Mass, and while other children thought about playing, Josemaria looked at the altar with very different eyes, as if he could see something the others couldn't. That something was Jesus. Josemaria became a priest, but he felt God was asking something more of him. He just didn't know what it was. So he began to pray the same words every single day, over and over, with complete faith. Lord, let me see. Lord, let me see. While he waited for God's answer, he went out to the streets of Madrid to help the sick, the poor, the people nobody else visited. And in the middle of all that serious work, Josemaria was famous for his sense of humor. He had a saying that became legendary: a sad saint is a sorry saint. And he meant it. He always found a way to make people laugh, even in the hardest moments. But every morning before going out to the streets, Josemaria always did the same thing first. He went to Mass, and from there, he went out to change the world. October 2nd, 1928. Josemaria was on a spiritual retreat in Madrid. An ordinary day, a simple room, silence, prayer, and then God answered. He finally understood what the Lord was asking. Not to build a cathedral, not to retreat to a monastery. Something completely different, something revolutionary. To teach ordinary people, people like you and me, that we can become holy through our everyday lives. And do you know what he did right after receiving that inspiration? He went to celebrate Mass. Because Opus Dei was born from the Eucharist, from Josemaria's encounter with the living Jesus at the altar. That was his first meeting, his first gathering, Jesus and him, at the altar. Josemaria began sharing his message around the world, and people loved him. Why? Because he wasn't a saint behind glass. He was real, relatable, fully human. Did you know Josemaria was a huge soccer fan? He followed matches with so much excitement that it shocked people who expected a holy man to be above all that. But that was exactly his point. Holiness isn't separate from real life. It's found inside it. And speaking of real life, when he was a teenager, he once asked God, "If you make me a priest, please don't leave my parents alone. Give them another child." And God answered. His mother had a baby boy named Santiago, the little brother Josemaria had prayed for. That was who he was, someone who trusted God with the big things and the small things. And every single morning, before anything else, he went to Mass. That was where he found the strength for everything else. Throughout his life, Josemaria repeated the same message. But there was one sentence that said it all. One sentence that shook people. One sentence no one had ever said so clearly before. Holiness is not for the privileged few. Think about that for a moment. How many times have you thought that becoming holy is for priests, for nuns, for people who pray all day, but not for you? Josemaria said, no, holiness is for everyone. For the mom who raises her children with love, for the worker who does an honest job, for the student who studies with effort, for the grandfather who prays the rosary every night. All of that is holiness. All of that reaches God. But then, what is the secret? How did Josemaria do it? Where did he find the strength to live this way? He told us himself, with complete clarity, Holy Mass is the center and root of the spiritual life of the Christian. For Josemaria, the Eucharist was not a ritual, not a habit, not a Sunday obligation. It was an encounter with the living Jesus, real, present, here. He said, in the Eucharist, Jesus is alive, real and true, not a symbol, not a memory. When Josemaria received communion, he wasn't fulfilling a rite. He was meeting his best friend. From that encounter came the strength to be holy, to laugh with his friends, to help the poor in the streets, to found Opus Dei at 26 with nothing, for everything. Josemaria's holiness had one engine, Jesus alive in the Eucharist. Josemaria died on June 26, 1975. He was 73 years old, but his message didn't die with him. In 2002, Pope John Paul II declared him a saint before more than 300,000 people in St. Peter's Square. Today, Opus Dei is in over 90 countries. Millions of people have found God through his message, that you can become holy right where you are, with what you have, doing what you do every single day, and going to Mass, always to Mass. Saint Josemaria gives us 3 gifts for our lives. 1. Your ordinary life has extraordinary value. Washing dishes with love is prayer. Doing your work well is prayer. Caring for your family with patience is prayer. Everything you do with love reaches God. 2. Joy and humor are part of faith. A sad saint is a sorry saint. God doesn't ask you to suffer. He asks you to live with joy and love. 3. And the secret behind all of it is the Eucharist. Josemaria went to Mass every single day. That's where he found the strength for everything else. You don't need to be perfect to go to Mass. You go to Mass to become perfect, little by little. To receive communion is to meet Jesus, not to fulfill a rite. Saint Josemaria Escrivá, Saint Josemaria. Escrivá lived with one certainty. God doesn't ask you to leave your life to find him. He asks you to find him in your life. At breakfast with your family, on the way to work or school, in every small thing you do with love, and especially at Mass, where Jesus waits for you alive and real every single day. Holiness is not for the privileged few, it's for you. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe to meet more heroes of faith just like Josemaria. See you in the next one.